Okay, so I'm back. I have my mug handle that you guys saw me do just now. I've got all my tools that I need. It's my little scoring tool. I've got a couple of paint brushes. This is a Kemper pin tool. It's nice and thin. I'll show you what I do with this soon. Okay, so I'm just gonna score. If you can see that. Okay, so I have slip from the same clay body, added a few drops of magic water. In the description, I will give you guys a recipe for magic water if you're interested in that. For me, I really like it because it makes the connection between the handle and the mug a lot stronger. So I know I've heard of some potters that think that you don't have to slip. For me, I prefer it because, like I said, especially with the magic water in the slip, I find that it sticks a lot better. It stays a lot better. Okay, so I've got my top of my handle here, so I'm just going to hold on to it like so. You always want to brace the inside of the mug so that while you're pushing it in, the handle in, it doesn't warp. Okay, so it might be a little bit hard for you guys to see, so I'll tell you what I'm doing. Let's see if we can do it this way. That might be a bit better. Okay, so you're supporting the inside, place the handle, and I like to kind of wiggle it back and forth. And you can start to feel that you can't wiggle it as easily. Okay, I check to make sure that it is straight. Give it a little bit of a squish with the tail end of the paintbrush. I kind of just squish it in. So I'm kind of blending it into the mug body a bit. And clean that off. Add a little bit of water. Not too much, just a little bit. Okay. Wipe that off a bit. Clean off the excess slip a bit here. Okay, so, and then this is what I do with my pin tool. Add a little water, and then you can just, pretty much what I was doing with the handle of the paintbrush, but this is a little bit more precise. So I'm just bringing the clay from the handle down onto the mug body, like so. Hopefully you can see that. So that just joins the handle to the mug a bit better. And then you can just clean that up a bit with your paintbrush. Okay, and then on this side, same thing, add a little, just a tiny bit of water. And hopefully you can see this. And just join it a bit. Okay. So when you're using a sponge or a paintbrush, you don't want to add too much water. That can make the joint or the join a little bit compromised. So just cleaning up that little bit. And I'm gonna put my sponge back. It's just kind of having the sponge is just something that I kind of got used to. It also elevates the mug away from the wheel head, so I'm not getting, you know, this all in my way. So now I'm just going to do the same thing here. Just a light touch, nothing too heavy, just to join the clay from the handle to the clay of the body of the mug. And that just helps for me. That's how I do it. It helps the two become one. I'm just gonna clean that up a bit with my little pointy guy. Okay. So there you go. You can see if you can see, the lighting is not the greatest, but it is nice and joined there. So now we're gonna do the bottom. So what I like to do is make sure that it is nice and straight. So if you're looking at it straight on, it looks vertical. Okay, so then I just use my pin tool to mark where I want this guy to go. And I push him off to the side. And with this one, I just score with my pin tool because it's such a tiny little area. And then add my slip with the magic water. Okay, and then place that in about the spot where you want it. And then I just kind of wiggle it back and forth a bit. And then you can start to feel resistance. And just make sure that it's where you want it. Just move that over a tiny bit. Okay, that looks about right. And just clean that excess up. And then again, I just use my pin tool to join it a bit better. You can shape it a bit better. Just be careful with the tip of your pin tool because you can jab into the mug or even the rim. I've done that before. Like I said, you know, these are tricks that I've learned on the way by making mistakes. In this little area here, this little joint area, I like to leave the slip. Let's kind of clean it up a little bit, but I like to leave it there because I have had in the past where if it's going to come apart from the body, it comes apart right here. So I like to just leave that bit here. Sometimes add a little bit like I am right now, just to make sure. You can also grab a little bit of clay, and you can make a little coil. And you can join it like so. I won't do it now, it's not really necessary, but that is something that you can do. Just use the little coil and blend it into the little joint there. For me, I like to be able to have all fingers in the handle. If you're selling, you do definitely want to make sure that you're making a handle that's comfortable for your customer. I was recently at a artisan market, and one of the ladies that was looking at a couple of the mugs, my mugs, that she really liked both of them, and she couldn't decide which one she wanted, and so I suggested she pick them up and hold on to the handle like she would if she was drinking her morning coffee. And one of the handles felt more comfortable in her hand, and so that's the one that she chose. So sometimes when you're manipulating the handle, you're holding onto the mug, it can go out of shape. So I just have this, is just a Pyrex. So I always just make sure that there's no bits of clay, because if you stick it in and move it, it can obviously ruin the inside. So I just kind of place it in a bit and just make sure that it's back to round. And then I'll show you how I put my maker's mark on. Sometimes glasses are a little bit concave on the bottom, so I just use my little round rib here, and then so it doesn't mark the inside, I just put a little piece of cloth. Center it as much as possible, and give it a press and wiggle it. There's my maker's mark. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would love it if you would subscribe, like the video, share. It just helps it all get out for other potters to see. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. Have a great day.